My God. Sometimes he skipped meals to help people. You had to go on 2 vacations before you go and help people. I got to feel it first. Okay, now I can talk. Hey, I got this prophetic revelation. See, you owe people love. Look at your next neighbor. You owe me love. I'll tell them again. Say it with some boldness. You owe me love. You can't decide to love me and not love me. You owe me love. That's some people I'm like, man, what? I done helped so many people out and they call me at midnight. Oh, I gotta love them. I owe them love. Okay. There's some people have never sold my cash app, ting, ting, ting. But they ask for wisdom. I gotta love them. There's some people, they will call, and when we look at the records, there's no tithes given. But I gotta love them. Because why? I owe them love. My life is not my own. See, when we all understand that, then we will give freely so that we can what? Receive freely. See, this is the key to your prosperity. You have not given enough, so therefore you have not received much because you have not given enough. Love causes you to be a giver. It doesn't entitle you to receive. Look at your neighbor again and say, neighbor, did I tell you that you owe me love? Move real quickly. Principle 2, when you show up as love, you show up as God in the world. When you show up as love, you show up as who? Go real quickly to 1 John chapter 4, verse 7. I'm going to show you book, chapter, verse to prove my case today. I'm going to do less preaching and let the word preach to you. Because if we get this in our hearts, Lord help us, you're going to see some things change in this place. You're going to be looking to serve instead of be on reserve. Uh-oh. You're going to sign in instead of resigning. Too many people are resigning instead of signing in. I would be a participator. Use me. They're resigning. They're retiring. I don't want to do it. Oh, Lord. No. No, we want you to get bold. The Bible says in 1 John chapter 4, verse 7. Go there quickly. And 4 verse 7 says, dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from who? God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God. Because what? God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his son and one and only son into the world that we might what? Live through him. So God is love. When you stand in God, you are standing in love. See, when you show up to the world as God, you show up as love. When you show up as love, you show up as God. The moment you choose not to love, you're telling us that you're showing up as the devil. It's quite simple logic. Because God is what? He's not hatred. He's not, I'm going to do you the same way you do me. He's not an Indian giver. Come on, somebody. God is love. So the moment you choose not to show up as love, you're showing up as the devil. There's another spirit in you that's blocking you from showing up as love. Love is sacrificial. See, the Bible says present your body a living sacrifice, not a dead sacrifice. A dead sacrifice stinks. A dead sacrifice has odor to it. But when you are a living sacrifice, you're giving life to others because you're refreshed. And it's not mechanical, it's not hypocritical. It is an enthusiasm that comes from the Spirit of Christ that shows people that you really have a concern for them. See, when you show up as love, you show up as who? You didn't know you can be God in the earth, huh? You didn't know you can be God in the earth. Some people are afraid to be God in the earth because they're afraid to love people relentlessly. There are many forms of abuse. When a person does not know God, they will abuse you. Not just physically. They'll abuse you mentally, emotionally. They'll be self-centered. It's abuse. When a person does not know God, they love you based upon their preferences, not God's preferences. How are you showing up to your family? How are you showing up to your job? How are you showing up to your church? Are you showing up as love, or are you showing up as just another religious member? Because if you show up as a religious person, nobody's going to hang around you. You're not going to hear no one share their problems to you. You're not going to hear no one say, hey, can you pray for me? If you are showing up religious, nobody's going to respect you. See, but if you're showing up as God, then it says, wow, there's something about that person that resonates within me. I can share this with them because I know it's going to be confidential. See, when you show up as love, you conquer all. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you conquered all. See, love gives you the ability to not let pain arrest you in your performance. I'm going to say that one more time. Love gives you the ability to not let what? Pain arrest you in your. See, a lot of people, they're not performing in their calling because they got some pain there. Some pain is stopping them from moving in peak performance. They're moving in weak performance instead of peak performance. God says, until you change your definition of pain, I cannot shift your performance. Pain is a definition. Pain is an interpretation. People hurt me. How are they going to hurt you? Because you interpret them to hurt you. When you're in love, you're unhurtable. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, when I'm in love, I'm unhurtable. And I'll show you. Look in the scripture. Look. You're going to keep coming back. Now look at verse 16. Watch this. Watch this. Verse 17. In this way, love is made perfect, complete among us so that we will have confidence on the day of judgment, because in this world we are. So there's a judgment going forth. There's a judgment that's going to be released based upon how you love others. I want y'all to really look at that. How you treat people, there's a judgment that's going to be released to you. And watch what the scripture says. There is no fear, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. God is complete in love. Now watch this. Watch this. Most people suffer from the ability to be transparent with others. Most people hide their transparency because they're afraid of rejection. So they hide their transparency and they put on a mask and they come to the world in pretension, and they come to the world as an actor and not being their authentic self, because they're afraid that people are not going to accept them how they are. And you cannot be afraid of your ontology, because your ontology comes from God. Ontology is your way of being. Ontology is your existence. Your existence comes from God. God created you just like he wanted to create you. He created you like he intended to create you. Why? Because in God's eyes, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Which means that before you committed your first sin, before you had your first flaw, God already knew about it. He already ordained it to happen, because he's going to use your flaws, he's going to use your issues, watch this, to be the deliverance of others. It is only you that have a hard time being transparent with others and authentic with others. Because why? You love the praise of men. Remember, religious people, they love the praise of men. Jesus said, you love the praise of men. So you act inauthentic. You act like a pretender. I'm not seeking the praise of men. I'm seeking to do the will of my Father, because I'm not religious. Watch this. I'm spiritual. See, some people, they got issues, they got problems, but they're not sharing it with the ones they need to share it with, because they love the praise of men. Some people have some issues and some challenges and some things they need to be delivered from, but they're not being transparent with it because they want men to continue to praise them in their falsehood instead of in their authentic self. But there is no fear in love. Which means if there is no fear in love, I don't have a trust issue problem. So a lot of people say, well, my father was not there, so I don't trust nobody. They made a conclusion with everyone. Because the ones that were dear to me, if they didn't love me, then I know I can't trust anyone else. So based upon your performance, it deals with how they're going to trust you. So they trust you based upon how you treat them. See, when you start dealing with people that have trust issues, you know they're incomplete in love. It's something in the past they're incomplete with. That's because this anger, this violence, this temper tantrum that you have, this pouting that you have, this meanness that you have, mean like a junkyard dog. Come on, somebody. Now smiles, look at her. Smile. She's always have, look at. But this meanness that you have, that is not God. It's not the love of God. Here you go. You got a prophetic message all the time, but you're not expressing the love of God. Someone said, my God. My God. Move quickly because time. Listen, principle 3. The only proof that you are operating in love is when you are a commandment keeper. I got to move quickly. When you are a commandment keeper, that's a sign that you're operating in love. If you go to John 14:21-24, Jesus says something very powerful. He said, if you love me, you will what? But watch 14. Watch John chapter 14, verse 12. Let's go there real quickly. Move with me quick. 14, 12. Keep it there because of the time. Keep it on the PowerPoint. And watch this. I tell you the truth. Anyone who has faith in me will do what I have been doing. He will do even greater things than these because I what? I'm going to the Father, and I will do whatever you ask in my name so that the Son may bring glory to the Father. You may ask me for anything in my name, and I will what? Now watch verse 15. Now listen to this. He wants to answer every request that you have.